Well, this is today's work. We got to put the air conditioner in. This is Roman's Grocery. It's our local friendly market from Puerto Rico. Nice people. Good store. They stay pretty busy. But this is where we're working. This unit here, it's kind of, it bit the dust. What happened was the fan motor was out yesterday, and I was going to replace it, but I found, let's see if I can lift this up. I was just going to replace the fan motor yesterday, but what I noticed was that you see the oil, it's leaking there, and it's been patched. Somebody patched it once already there, and I think they patched it up a little higher over there. You can see the braze on it there, but it's just it's one of those things where it's just going to keep leaking. You can see the oil on the line pretty good. You see all that oil there? That's telltale sign that there's the Freon gas is leaking out a small hole, and the Freon and the oil travel through the system together. The oil stays as the residue, the gas evaporates. So whenever you find oil like that, it's a big telltale sign that you've got a leak. System's out of gas. It leaked out all winter long. The compressor is, if we look down here at the serial number, focus in on that, but let's see, the serial number is a 99, which means it's a 1999, so it's got plenty of miles on it. As I just explained to the customer, I said, compressor's still running, fan motor's bad. The fan motor may have hurt the compressor by not being on. There's no safety controls on this. I'm going to put safety controls on the new one. A low pressure cutout and a high pressure cutout. If the fan goes bad, the compressor will the pressure will build up, and it'll just shut the compressor off and save the compressor. If you lose all the gas out of the system, the low pressure switch will shut off and save the compressor. These units are so cheap. They don't, refrigeration systems, like this is a refrigeration system for the walk-in cooler over here. I put that in quite a few years ago. I don't remember how long ago it was. It was quite a long time ago, but it'll have all the pressure controls on it. This is it's kind of a rough neighborhood, and copper tubing tends to disappear. So when I installed this unit here, I got my P-Touch labeler, and right there I wrote on this thing, beer cooler. I did that so that the local inhabitants would leave it alone. They want cold beer, so they would leave it alone. And they did, and it's worked. But I explained to the customer that it's just not worth patching it, trying to patch that up again, and invest a lot of money into the motor, and then the compressor would just go bad next week, you know. So he agreed. So here's the new one. It's IPA, is it? It's a Meritherm is the brand at the supply house. These they don't even put the sticker on them. They just to make the units, and then all the different companies have different names, and you just put the sticker on the unit. I guess I don't know how many different names they put on the same unit, you know. It's kind of like General Motors was back with in the old days. Okay, I got to get started. Okay, now I'm recovering the little bit of gas that's in the system. had put 407C in it quite a while ago. Let's see the, I put a label right there. I think about 2 years ago I put 407C in this. And maybe 3 years now, I'm not sure. But I'm taking the gas that's in the system out and putting it in an empty tank. This is what I really don't like. I mean, this is a shame that it was done this way, but the electrical boxes there are mounted on the wall, and to get at them you have to lean over the metal units, and that's really, you should never install them like that. The box should be over here on the wall so that you can kneel down over here. There's nothing in front of it for 3 feet. You don't have to lean on the unit to work on it. Because when you lean on the unit, you have copper tubing and metal, and the unit is grounded really well. So if you touch something wrong, electricity is going to run right through you into the ground. And that's very dangerous. I don't like that kind of a setup at all. And if I was setting the system up new, initially I installed that unit over there and had the electrician put the electrical box over here so that there's nothing, this unit wasn't here. Then somebody came along and installed this back in '99. And you put that right in front of the electrical boxes. What I may do is move the air conditioner over here, so that that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm just going to spin the unit around so that you can kneel down between the two of them with not having to lean on anything. It'll be much safer. Okay. Well, there's the old unit. It had its day in the sun. Did its job. And now it's off to the junk guy. And what I did was move the unit was here in front of the two electrical boxes. I moved the new unit over, and now you can work on the electrical without laying on the metal units to get at the electrical, so it's safer. I was lucky, my suction line reached exactly to the new unit, even though the other unit was over here. I just connected it without any problem. I didn't even have to do any twisting. It came down and went on an elbow into it. I just cut it off at the elbow. I went straight into this unit. My electrical is easy to get to. It's up there. Not hard to get at it. I put a new dryer filter on it, and what I did was, there might be some question about it, but I put a sight glass on it because I like sight glasses. I'm in refrigeration mostly. All refrigeration systems have sight glasses, and here I'll be able to see a full column of liquid going to the expansion device at the beginning of the cycle when the store is warm. And this unit, another thing too about this unit, it doesn't have louvers on it. I don't like air conditioning systems. I know a lot of people do, like Ream and Train. They have louvers over the fins, and it looks nice and it protects the fins, especially the spine fin tubing. But it protects the dirt and allows the dust and dirt, and we get this cotton fluff around here, and it gets sucked into these units really bad. And when you have louvers on it, it gets in there, and rain can't wash it off. Here, the rain will be able to wash it off. You can see this unit here, the rain's fairly kept it clean over the years. And you can see little damage. Sometimes you get hail damage on it. This grill on it, the spacing's far apart on it. This this grill is close together. So it should protect against any hail damage. I kind of like that. I'm pretty happy with it. It's a ICP. I think I said IPA, but it's ICP is the brand. But now I have to take the top off and put my low pressure switch and high pressure switch into it, and get that part done. But what I did was I brazed the connections on the unit there I used Dynaflow. I like Dynaflow. It's not super expensive and it works excellent. It's my favorite. I've used it forever. And I got that tube just died. I have to get another tube. I think I have like 2 sticks left. And the flux that I use stays sealed. It works very good with it. I flux the copper. I sand the copper off. I brush it up. Get it shiny. Get the oxidation off the copper. See the oxidation on the copper there. See how the copper gets oxidized? I like to get that off. Even new tubing, I'll do it. I'll use a brush on it with the wheel. You can see the drill there with the wheel in it. That's my wheel. And I'll brush it clean, then I'll put the stay silk on it, then I'll heat it up, and then I braze it with the braze rods. The torch I use is that's what's called a turbo tip. Turbo torch. I don't use oxygen acetylene. This sucks the oxygen in right there. It mixes it with the acetylene. There's a little propeller device in the end of it. I don't know if you can see it, but it does good. Okay, and what I did is the sight glass, they didn't want to put too much heat in it. I soldered it with silver solder, and the dryer filter I also soldered it in case I have to change it in the future. It gives me the option. I don't have to fight a braze overheat. I don't overheat it with a torch. And my solder, my flux are right there. And I use Stay Clean flux on it. Clean the copper tubing with the brush wire wheel, and then I put the flux on it, heat it up, solder melts, use it sparingly, and it's a number 8% silver in it, and it's very good stuff. I've used that since the 70s. It works very good, and like I said, I like to use it on items that I might have to change, and I used it on the sight glass just because I was soldering this, but I didn't want to overheat the glass and the seal on it, but I did use cool gel. Works fairly good. A heat barrier. I put it on my valves there, both of the valves. I also used a wet rag. Here's my wet rags, and that works pretty good. Okay, I'm pulling a vacuum on it now. And I got my micron gauge over here. It's coming down. Maybe a little while yet. I installed these safety devices here. bottom is a low pressure switch. Low pressure switch. I believe that it cuts out at 35 pounds pressure. And the high pressure switch cuts out at 375 pounds head pressure. And what I do is I got the one with the reset button on it, so that if there is a problem, I'll get a service call and I'll catch the problem rather than let it. If it's automatic reset, what will happen is it'll just act up for 2 weeks before I get a call. You know, and in that time it'll overheat the compressor. But here, this is, I think it's the best way to go with it. It'll just shut the system down, won't hurt the compressor. I'll come and I'll find whether it's the condenser's plugged up with dirt or our fan motor has seized up. And those things happen. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wire the low pressure switch, high pressure switch, and a freeze stat. I have the freeze stat on the ground over here near my cell phone. I installed that on the old unit. I'm moving it over to this unit. And we had a problem with the evaporator coil icing up on this. It was pretty dirty. I had to wash it out. I'm going to have to wash it out again, I'm sure, this year. But I'm not going to do that today. That's another to-do job. Okay. So right now I'm going to start wiring in the two controls. I'll show you that when I'm done. Okay, my vacuum's getting down there. Let's see, it's at 295. I'll let it run a little bit longer. Now, this is my electrical I want to talk about now. Is I brought the electric lines in. It's single phase, 230 volts. So you'll get two live wires and a ground. And that's what we had here. And let me see. See this? That's L1 and L1 and L2, and here's the ground over here. The ground, I fixed it to. Fix it to this grounding terminal back there, and that's set. Now the wires, L1 and L2, the wires were green. I left them over here so you can see them. You see that the green is corrosion on it. You don't really want to leave it like that. And let's see if I can get them. That's corrosion, and that's not good to leave like that because it'll cause resistance and it will heat up in time and it'll end up burning the wire. It'll all cook. And I had enough play in the wire. I just pulled it a little bit longer and I stripped the end of it and put nice fresh clean copper stranded wire into the terminals. There's my L1 and L2, and T1 and T2 on the top. Now the thermostat wires, since the air conditioning system is fairly simple, you have two wires out. It looks like, did it break? No. Okay. That's just insulation. I gotta trim that insulation off. Okay. But I have the red and the white, and what I did was this blue was connected to the contacted coil right here. So what I did was I pulled it off and I routed it into the control circuit. Now this is the high pressure switch right here. Goes through the high pressure switch, and as long as that's making contact, the circuit will be complete. Then it goes down to the freeze stat. That's the freeze stat down there. Comes out of the freeze stat and goes through the low pressure switch. Comes out of the low pressure switch. And it goes to the terminal on the contactor coil where the blue wire was. So now we have a circuit through the controls and back to coil. That's the completed circuit. Now what I did was I used these plugged together. It's a male and female connection. I'm not going to get it open with one hand. But let's see. One side is your standard spade crimp-on connection, and the other side will be the counterpart, the flat piece. And on the control circuits, I like to use those in case you have to troubleshoot the system. You can always, pull the prongs apart, and you can check it with your continuity tester to see if you have continuity through the control, to see if the control has gone bad or not. But now I have to wire tie these all together, get them all, secure and neat. I don't ever leave the wires dangling like that. You never know if there'll vibration. There'll be vibration. Look, see, like those right there, and it'll eat through the insulation, and you'll short it out. And I really don't want to have a short on the condenser coil. Okay, the condenser coil for this is probably like $800. It's almost not worth changing the condenser coil. You have to spend $800. If it costs me $800, might as well, the customer might as well buy a new whole condensing unit by the time he gets some paying for that. Okay, I'm down to 270. And let it run a little bit longer. I don't want to let it go below 250. Goes below 250, then your oil starts breaking down in the compressor. We don't want that. But it's a very good vacuum. It's an excellent vacuum at this point. Okay, got it running. Looking pretty okay. Nice and quiet. The store's getting cold. It's up to like 86 degrees right now. My suction pressure is a little high because the store is so hot. But I have 15 degrees superheat. Subcooling. And 246 head and 78 suction. But I expect the suction to come down once the store gets colder. This is something interesting. I put a sight glass in it so I could see the liquid column, and what happened was, you can see that it's all milky. That condition is supposed to be caused by a reaction between the different oils in the system. So that doesn't look very effective. But my liquid line's cool. It's not even hot warm, and there's a lot of condenser on this. So it's a warm day today. I don't know what temperature it is. Let me see. 83 degrees today. But it's a 5-ton unit. Working pretty nice. Okay guys, working on my suntan today. Later.